talk about something that I feel is overlooked a lot. The day after you decide to go for your dreams, the day after you leave that security of a steady paycheck, of a corporation that has got your back, what that day after looks like and feels like. You know, I've been corporate for 12 years. I had got to have the immense joy of working with the teams, of going in and helping people see their potential, of making them feel seen, which in corporation, that's really hard to feel seen when there's 150 locations. And I got to give that to people, and it was so empowering for me, and I was so fulfilling, and I loved it. The moment they offered me a new position, I had this clarity of I was no longer growing. I had been playing it safe because giving people their potential, helping them see what they're capable of, fulfilled my soul, fulfilled my heart. I've been doing the same thing for so long. I wasn't continually growing. And I didn't see that until they offered me a new position. And then I realized I had come as far as I could with this company in my personal growth. And in that moment, I knew I couldn't stay. It was just such an immediate reaction. And I knew it was correct that I just said, oh, no. And I think I'm done. I don't think there's anything here for me still. It was a moment that I just went with my gut. I didn't think it through. I didn't plan for what next was going to look like. I just did what I knew was right for me. Now let's talk about what that really looked like, because I was the income in my household. My husband's retired, so he gets Social Security, which you can't live off of. So I was the income. And I just said, peace out. What the heck is wrong with me? Who does that? 2 months before my 60th birthday. And I have no backup plan. I have no anything. I'm just saying it's my time. And I went with it 100%. And in that moment, there was clarity that this is what I was supposed to do. And in that moment, I'm like, I don't know how it's going to work out, but I'm sure it's going to. So I called my husband, and he's like, okay, I got you. We're good. Even though there's no plan. He's up on the mountain hunting, so he comes and gets me, and I go hunting. The day after that beautiful moment, I'm still in a little bit of shock, a little bit of surrealism, right? Because this just does not feel real or correct. Next day, there's moments of terror. What the heck did I just do? Are you kidding me right now? You might have just totally put your family in a really bad situation, and you don't even have a plan. You're old enough to know better, right? I'm almost 60. There's moments of freedom. There's moments of empowerment. But there are major moments of terror, of what the heck did I just do? And I don't think we talk about that. I didn't leave because I didn't love my job. I left because I needed to fulfill something more. So luckily I was up on that mountain, because that mountain gives me, it brings something to my soul. It gives me peace. It gives me clarity. When my daughter-in-law, ex-daughter-in-law, talked to me and said, what are you going to do? But you're going to help people, so you're going to write a book, you're going to do a podcast. And I said, yes. And so I started this book. Now here's the part. During writing my book, I was in a state of coherence because I was really meant to write this book. and everything lined up for me so beautifully. I was in clarity. I have my phone up on the mountain and I'm typing on my phone my chapters in my book. And I was not set up to write a book. I knew nothing about self publishing, but I knew my story. I knew my heart. So I'm just putting it in. And my husband's like, "Are you going to write on your book or no what?" And I'm like, "I got 7 chapters. It's all on my phone." And then I bought a laptop and started really putting it down. And that was such an amazing time. I have never felt such coherence. I was doing exactly what I was meant to do. My book was published, self published, on Amazon in 2 months. It came out the day before my 60th birthday. It's beautiful. I've been doing exactly what I'm meant to do. And then it hits the shelves. And it's not flying off the shelf because who knows me? Nobody. So all of a sudden, reality steps in and says, "Great, you wrote a book. Good job. Where's your money? How are you going to support your team, your family? How are you going to live?" And the book has done okay, but it hasn't replaced my income. It hasn't given me the support of that consistent paycheck, right? And then doubt came in. Everybody celebrates that jump, but nobody talks about that landing. And that landing is hard. That landing is scary. That landing does not look like what we think it's going to look like. And there I sit. And the more I worry, the worse it gets, right? And all of a sudden, I have these questions. Who am I without my role, my title? Is my identity strong enough to withstand that? Mostly, yeah. What if I'm not actually good enough without the company behind me? Because, gosh, that company gave me that confidence to not worry about where the next paycheck was coming from, right? What if nobody ever shows up? What if there's never enough book sales, enough following on the podcast, enough people wanting my consulting? What if I run out of money? All of these limiting beliefs that I had overcome start coming back. Because those beliefs were really good over here with this corporation. But over here with just me and no safety net, they start coming back up because now they're being showed in a different situation. And having to revisit them has been a little hard. You know, that regular paycheck gave me more security than I realized. All this work I'd already done, I'm having to redo part of it. And I was unprepared for that. I believe in that growth mindset, that safety net. And then when they disappear, those old voices, they got loud. This doesn't mean it was a wrong choice. It means I made a big enough choice that the deepest parts of me got activated. That's scary. So the real work starts when the safety net is gone. Here's the thing. This is going back to where I was, but not quite, because I already have knowledge I didn't have. I already know what it feels like to be confident. So before, when I was trying for it, I'd never felt it. So I would go in after something I've never seen before. Now I'm like, I know these things. I just got to apply it to this over here. But I have to do it differently. I have to come at it from a higher state because I'm already in a higher state than I ever was. And I've learned new tools. I've learned that, number one, and I know this and I've lived with it and I forgot it. Confidence, you don't just get it and it stays there. You have to keep working on it, right? When I broke the arrow with my throat and my confidence was, woo, way up here high, it didn't stay because I didn't keep working on it. I had to find confidence in every situation. Well, I'm in new situations, so I got to find my confidence again. And it's mainly there. It is there most of the time. And then something new comes out and I go, ooh, I do not know what this is or how to do it. And I have to redo. So a dear friend of mine, Caleb, gave me a new tool. And it has been amazing. I want you to get a piece of paper and I want you to give 3 columns. And in the first column, you write your old belief, whether it's I'm not enough, whatever is coming up in that moment, you write that. And then the next column, you write it as a new belief. So instead of I am not enough, I am enough. And the third column, I'm going to give 25 pieces of evidence that proves I am enough. Because I need proof to back up that new belief. And when you do this, whether it's over finances, whether it is I am not enough, I am not worthy, a fear of rejection, self-doubt, whatever it is, whatever you're feeling in that moment, you tear off that old belief, because that's what you're going to do. As you take that, you tear it off that piece of paper, and now you just got that new belief and the 25 pieces of evidence. And guys, it's supposed to be hard. 25 is hard. First few, all right, I can do that. But by the time you get to 15 or 20, they're getting harder to prove. But once you have that proof of, here's this new belief and here's a proof of it, oh my gosh, that gets easier. So for me, money is a big deal. I grew up dirt poor. I grew up without an abundance life. Our lifestyle, our whole family, everything was in scarcity. And that's what I grew up with. That's a big one to overcome. And I had overcome it to a degree. But now here it kicks back up because I don't have the regular money coming in. So I started doing this with Caleb and writing it out. And oh my gosh, it has been so helpful. I have found such empowering moments. I have found such freedom in going where I was meant to go. And I have found such terror and such limiting beliefs. And I want you to know, you're going to go through that. But doesn't mean that what you're doing is wrong. And I just want you to know, freedom and fear are not opposites. They show up together. And then you learn to move forward in that fear. Because our dreams don't happen without being scared. Our dreams do not happen without that fear. It's when you have it and you go forward anyway, that's where your dreams are. You know, everything you want's outside of your comfort zone, or otherwise you would already have it. I want you to know, you can't fight what you won't face. So write down and then ask if it's true and give 25 reasons, evidence, examples why this new belief is true. right? Call it the lie for what it is and separate your worth from your doubt, from your paycheck, from your title, from your output. You were valuable before this job. I was valuable before I was corporate, and I'm valuable after it. And I'll be honest, my value grew while I was there. They helped me see my potential and who I could become, and I would not be here if not for them. But there's a time when you have to let go of that security. Doesn't mean leaving a job always, right? But that security that's going to hold you, that's going to tether you to only so far out. You got to let go of that security and go after that big dream, whatever it may be. It doesn't have to be leaving a job, it could be whatever. But you got to say, it's my time to go for that dream. I don't want you playing small. I want you to move in self-doubt. Clarity comes from action, not from waiting until you feel ready. Take those actionable steps. Belief did not create my limiting beliefs. It just turned the lights on, guys. And once you see them, you can finally do something about them. So don't let those limiting beliefs stop you from taking that leap. That leap is meant for you. I want you to ask yourself, are you brave enough? Are you brave enough to do it even if you know the fear is coming? And I'm telling you right now, knowing the fear was coming, I am so glad I chose it anyway. I would do it all over again. And I'm not out of the woods yet. I'm not where I need to be, but I'm going where I'm meant to go. Dreams don't expire, not at 59, not at 60, not ever. I want you to go after your dreams. I'm telling you now, if this episode hit you in any way, shape, or form, share it with somebody else who's standing at the edge of their dreams, and both of you take the leap. It is your time. It is what you are meant to do. Do it scared, but do it. I'm telling you, I have been terrified. I have been regretful in moments. They don't last. I have also had more freedom, more joy, more empowerment in these terrifying months than I had in years of working. Your dreams are absolutely terrifying and exhilarating and empowering and beautiful. So go through the terror because you're meant to. We are not meant to stay still. We are meant to go in action. And this is your call. Go get moving. Go towards action. Quit waiting for the right moment because it will never happen. If I had waited for the right moment, I would retire there. I am so glad I listened to my gut. I still don't have all the answers. I still don't know what's going to be the thing that makes it where I need to be, but it's happening. I'm telling you now, and I keep growing and I keep learning, and I am living in a state of blissful dissatisfaction, as Ed Milet would say. I am living through the terror and loving every minute of it. Even when I'm scared, I am still glad I did it. Even when I have doubts, those doubts are getting smaller and shorter, but I also have the right people to back me up. So, share this episode, get out there and go after your dreams. You are worthy of more than where you're at today. Thank you for spending this time with me and for listening with an open heart, for choosing to invest in your growth today. If this episode spoke to you, I would love for you to share it with someone else who just may need the reminder that their dreams still matter. Sometimes one conversation, one message, one moment of encouragement can change everything. And if you want to go deeper, my book, Rise, Believe, Become, was written with you in mind. There is more out there for you. Your potential is so much bigger than you'll know. This is your time to find the courage to take the next step in your journey. You can find my book on Amazon. This is just Janae reminding you that no matter what phase you are in, your dreams don't expire. Until next time, keep rising.